A good day to all of you, wherever you are, no matter what time of the day it is, all of my wonderful friends and fans, all of you viewers, welcome to Reflect, Inspire, and Motivate with Marleen Smith. Today, I'll be continuing on the topic of love. Usually I speak of love from the viewpoint of having the love of God within us and then having love for ourselves. I usually place a lot of emphasis on having self-love, having that fountain of love within us where we can love ourselves. And then, once we have that love moving and flowing within us, running all through our veins, then we have enough love to give to others. And it is my honest belief that if you don't have that foundation, if you don't have love for yourself, it is very difficult, or I would say impossible, to love others, because you cannot give from an empty cup. But today I will go a step further and I'll be looking at having love for others. And I want to draw reference from the Bible. I'll be looking at 1 John 4 verses 7 and 8, and then I'll skip over to verses 20 and 21. So I'll first be looking at 1 John 4 verses 7 and verses 8, and it says, "Beloved ones, let us continue loving one another, because love is from God, and everyone who loves has been born from God and gains the knowledge of God. He that does not love has not come to know God, because God is love." And I'll just skip over to verses 20 and 21. It says, "If anyone makes the statement, 'I love God,' and yet is hating his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, whom he can see, he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot be loving God, whom he has not seen. And this commandment we have from him, that the one who loves God should be loving his brother also." Those are serious words. And those are words that we should really meditate on. A lot of us talk about love, but we really don't have a good understanding of love. And to have a good understanding of love, we should really go to the root of love, the teachings of love, which is the Bible, and the source of love, which is God. Having love for God would press us to love, appreciate, and respect each other. When we love one another, as the Bible says, we would not gossip about each other. We wouldn't try to tear down each other. We wouldn't talk about our neighbors in a bad light. We wouldn't have negative things to say about them. Rather than gossiping about our neighbors, we would want to uplift them, We would want to look out for them, look out for their safety. When we see our neighbors with a new car in their garage, or if we see them looking as though they are succeeding in life, if we see them making improvements to their home, or if we see them have a new introduction to the family and they look as though they are having a happy marriage and family life, we would not draw on negative suspicions, but rather we would be glad for them. When we have the love of God in our hearts, we would not be envious about our neighbors' achievements, but rather we would congratulate them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with saying to your neighbor, congratulations on your new promotion. Congratulations on achieving your academic degree. Congratulations because you've just had a newborn baby and it seems to be healthy. Congratulations on your 50th wedding anniversary. When we have the love of God within us, we would forgive. I know it is hard. It could be difficult when we think about the whole concept of forgiveness. But we would forgive if we have the love of God in our hearts. Even when the wound is deep and it hurts so badly that all that you want to do is take an eye for an eye. But in order to heal, we must forgive. If we have love in our hearts, we would forgive those who did wrong to us. And this is my whole thing about forgiveness. You've hurt me, you did bad things to me in the past. I forgive you, I heal, and I move on. I'm not saying that I'm going to give you another opportunity to hurt me again or to get close enough to me to destroy me. But I have stepped past that and I have moved on. You know how many of us carry unforgiveness to the grave of things that happened a long, long time ago? That person might have moved on or might have died, might have gone to another country, gone on with their lives, and you're still carrying that unforgiveness in your heart. That is very unhealthy. But if we have the love of God in our hearts and if we love others, we would forgive, close that wound, and move on. If we have the love of God in our hearts and the love of God for others, we would open up our hearts and share our knowledge. When we get knowledge, we would share of it, we would give of it freely. We will want to impart our knowledge to others. It's not everything that you have to attach a price to. Come on, we cannot take it to the grave. We cannot take it anywhere. When we gain knowledge, when we learn new skills, we share. We can share to the younger people who may not have any skills. If we learn something new from reading or probably going on the internet and learning something, we can share it with our family or friends, people who we come into contact with. We can also share our experiences with others. We would also be inclined to give to others who are less fortunate than we are. Sometimes you may hear about a family who is not doing so well. It may be somebody who goes to the same congregation as you do, or it may be somebody in your district. There's nothing wrong with taking things from your home that you no longer have any uses for. Say things like clothes that your children have grown out of but are still in good condition. Things that you probably replaced with newer items and you no longer need them. Instead of throwing them into the garbage, you can just put them in a box and give them to someone who is less fortunate, someone who might have never ever had that particular item or those types of clothes. But if it is something that you know you would never want for yourself, if it is something that is rejected, don't give it to them. It must be in good condition. It must be something that they can make good use of. So if we have the love of God in our hearts, and if we love others, we would be inclined to share. There is nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong, with tipping your waitress if you go to dinner or lunch. You know, the guy who pushes out the groceries for you to your car from the supermarket or to the bus stop if you catch the bus. There's absolutely nothing wrong with giving him a tip. Even when you go to the gas station to get gasoline for your car, there's nothing wrong with giving that worker a tip. You know, when I was younger and I go out to dinner, but when I say when I was younger, I mean up to say probably 2 years ago, when when we go to family dinners, my husband and my children, or if we go to lunch, my husband would always tip the waiter or the waitress, and I used to find it, pretty amazing and strange, and I would always consistently he would do it, and I would say to him, but you don't have to do that. They get paid and they get, they pull their tips together and they get, they get money from the pool of tips. You don't have to do that every time. And he, being the nice, generous person that he is, he would say, oh, come on, Marleen, if you've worked in this industry, you would understand. But if you've never worn the shoes, you might not understand. But he would say, oh, if you don't understand, you just don't worry about it, forget about it. And I have learned from him, from that act of generosity. And then I found myself tipping the guy who pushes out the groceries to my car. And even now, when I go to the gas station, I would look for, say, $2, and I would tip the gas attendant. If I don't have $2, it's probably $1. There's nothing wrong with that. Make someone happy and make someone smile. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when you have the love of God in your heart, you will find that you'll be inclined to be nice and to be generous and to be giving. How about common courtesies and good manners? Such as, thank you, sorry, I'm sorry, please. When you express those words to others, it makes them feel valued and respected. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with being polite toward others. Put yourself in the other person's shoes, and you would understand how good it makes you feel. Sometimes you're going along and your day might not be turning out, too bright and too happy for you. And someone comes along and says, good morning, how are you today? it makes you feel like, oh, I'm still in the land of the living. Someone recognized me, you know? And then if someone offers you something, thank you. If you think that you have offended someone, or you hurt someone, or that you misunderstood someone or something like that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I came across, you know, that way. It wasn't intended. Please, you know, if there's nothing wrong with beginning or ending your sentences or your requests with please. How about when people go out of their way to please us, and then when they come to us, all they get is criticism? Sometimes someone might go out of their way, you may not know, but they may just go out of their way to make you feel good, to make you feel happy. You don't see the behind the work scenes. But then when they present you with what they've worked so hard at getting to you, you just can't seem to appreciate it. You know, you attack them with things like, oh, I would have done it better, I would have done it differently, or you could have done it this way, you could have done it that way. I mean, that is hard. You need to take things into consideration, like, you know, that person really went out of their way to do this. I didn't even know that they were doing it. And it hurts when you cannot show appreciation for someone who goes out of their way to do something good for you, just to make you smile, just to make you happy. You see, when you have the love of God in your hearts, and when you have a love for yourself, when you have that abundance of love stirring and moving within you, you will be moved to love others and to treat others just as how you will love to be treated, loved, appreciated, and respected. So that is my message for you today. I hope you're enjoying the videos. As a matter of fact, I know you are, from the responses that I have been getting, the feedback that I have been getting, and I want to thank you very much for both watching them, giving me the feedback. That makes me happy, because that's what it's all about. You know, my aim is to inspire you and motivate you. It's not about me. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing it for popularity. If that was the case, I would have quit a long time ago. So I want to thank you very much, and I want to encourage you to continue to watch them and share them, because you never know who might need the message. You never know. There are people out there who need these types of messages, and if you share them, you never know. Sometimes a topic might not apply to you, you know, at that particular point, but then you might just go back and click on the video. You might say, oh, I really needed this message today. So share the videos with your friends, your contacts, your family members, your colleagues. I would appreciate that. And for you who haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so that every time that I create a new video, you will be notified. Continue to like the videos on Facebook. So you have a wonderful day. Continue to love God, love yourself, and love others. The Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. And your neighbor does not necessarily, or is not confined only to the person next door, but it is everyone who you come into contact with. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to making more videos for you.